Hey world, it's your girl Nina Love. Thanks for being here. I'm back at it again. This past week, I was going through my blog and I was looking for material to use in this particular podcast. Aside from the theme of love, the other overarching theme, especially within the past 18 months, has been heartache. I have been married twice, divorced twice. So I may not be a relationship expert, but I am definitely could possibly be an expert on overcoming heartache. So I just have 2 tips that I want to share about overcoming heartache, or how I was able to rise above the hurt and the pain. So the other day, I was actually looking at one of my journals, and in the journal was a card from my ex-husband that he had given me the first year we were married. It was my first birthday spent with him. And it was the most beautiful card. And it brought me to tears the other day because I remember him feeling this way about me. And I remember all the hope and all of the magic of being in love, especially when it's so brand new. So anyway, it goes like this. I'm a better man because of you. Having you for my woman makes me want to be a better man and do all that I can to please you. You do for me what no other woman could. You make me feel like I can do anything at all. You lift my spirits when I'm having a bad day or feeling down. You challenge me to stand taller, work harder, and think smarter. Guess that's why I'm so glad that I found you and that you saw something in me that you thought was worth hanging around for. Happy birthday. And then he wrote, Precious, the love for you I have cannot be explained. Just know that I love you endlessly until my last days. Your husband forever. Now, seeing that was given to me in August of 2004, and then fast forward to the current time, we're now divorced. My heart is actually on the healing end of it. Like, I'm no longer shattered. But in the first days after he had announced his divorce was very, very difficult. It was so hard to even get up out of bed. I remember crying myself to sleep. When I wake up, I cry again and go back to sleep. I did self-medicate with alcohol, tobacco, and marijuana. And so if I had marijuana, I would do that, go back to sleep. If I had a bottle of wine, I would drink that, go back to sleep. The grieving process was probably the most important part of getting over the heartache. Some people take years to get through that heartache. I did not want to waste time. I did not want to get through the heartache. And I remember distinctly several people reaching out and saying, hey, you want to go to lunch so you can just, talk, or you want to go to the spa and, we can just talk and you can just, let go. And I let very few people around me when I was going through the grieving process. And my grieving process was to cry it out. Cry it out. Cry it out, cry it out. And I did not want anybody to witness that. I wanted to be by myself, to cry the ugly cry, to let the tears fall and all the boogers hang out of my nose. I wanted to do that on my own, by myself. I did not want people seeing me that way. Call it pride, call it what you want, but it was just my way. And that grieving process of feeling the pain, of feeling every single heartache, of mourning the loss of this love that I had, remembering the hard times we went through, thinking about him leaving all of that, I grieved it. I felt it and I went through it. When I didn't want to feel it, and that's when I would self-medicate with the alcohol, marijuana, tobacco. That's just what got me through it. And so that first process, grieve through it, feel every single pain. I remember I had a really, really good boss at the time. When I called him the morning that my ex announced that he wanted a divorce, I called him and he cried on the phone with me, apologized to me and said how sorry he was. And, he told me, take all the time you need. I think I didn't go to work for 2 weeks, and I did not have any vacation or sick leave to amount to 2 weeks. Maybe I might have had sick leave, but he let me work from home. And there was just a bunch of things he allowed me to do that I could not have gone through this grieving process without such a strong support. I remember talking to my dad the morning after, or the morning that my ex told me he wanted a divorce. And my pops happened to be down the road from my house. He lived an hour away from me, but he was at his farm, which was probably about 10 minutes away from me. And I remember going to him and I told him the news, and I was a mess and I looked like a wreck. And he said the simplest thing. My pops just looked at me and he said, well, is it a good thing? I had to sit back and think, my goodness, my pops is so smart, because I guess it was a good thing. There's no way. Here's the second part that I want to talk about. The second thing that I want to say is that I can never, ever choose for him his path in life. I could never choose my ex's path in life. So my father's words to me, is it a good thing, made me realize that it has to be a good thing. This is the path my ex chose. I have to be comfortable with, not comfortable, but I have to accept it. I just have to accept his choice, because there's no way for me to change his choice. It's like that Reba McEntire song, I Can't Make You Love Me. Was that Reba McEntire? Or Bonnie Raitt, I Can't Make You Love Me. I can't make him love me. So all I can do is accept his choice. And even in the midst of my grief, I accepted his choice. I honor his choice because it is his most genuine choice. He's looking out for him, which is okay. And which is an example to me that I have to look out for me. But accepting his choice, honoring his courage. And I know it sounds ridiculous. This man ripped my heart out after 13 years of working at our marriage. And then he just rips my heart out and walks away like, accept it. And that is actually how he was toward me. He was very cold and unfeeling, like, just get over it. He was definitely not the man I had married. And so even through all of that, I admire his courage for living his truth, for walking in his most honest self. And he knew he no longer wanted to be my husband. He no longer wanted to try this. I remember one of the reasons he said that he didn't want to be married anymore was because he didn't want to be 10 years down the line and think, I should have divorced you a long time ago. So he didn't want to spend another 10 years being unhappy, basically. And that hurt me and just killed me. But you know what? That is his true feelings. And I think if he and I were a little more honest with each other in our marriage, in terms of what we want for ourselves, and not just the marriage unit, but what we wanted individually for ourselves, I think it would have been, we might have made it work. But we both were compromising portions of ourselves to be together. And so once the divorce happened, it was done. There was no more needing to worry or maintain the relationship. And I talk about it all the time that I would have loved for us to work it out. I would have loved that, because I do miss his companionship, as I always say. And because he was really my best friend, we would go to like 49er games. That was our team. We would go, that was our anniversary trip. Especially when the 49ers were doing good. I think we went to the last season that the 49ers played at Candlestick Park. We went to a game, so I'm happy to say, you know, and actually I love Candlestick Park more than Levi Stadium. Anyway, that's something else different. But I just enjoyed him, and he was a great husband for, you know, until things were going bad. But we really did work our butts off to be together and to maintain our marriage relationship. But when it was done, it was done. So what is the two things I wanted to talk about in terms and in relation to grieving through the process of marriage or divorce or any kind of hard time that you have is, first, grieve through it. So feel everything. Feel every single pain, every single emotion. I remember I have a YouTube playlist with all my what is my playlist called? Sad Songs Say So Much. That is the name of my playlist. So that playlist has all the songs that when I need to cry, I turn them on. So there's Patty Austin, If This Time Is the Last Time, Keisha Cole, I Remember, what is that? There's a bunch of songs. I'll post the playlist or in the comments. But songs like that would help bring up the emotion, the grief, the heartache, the pain, review of all the good times and the bad times. The songs would pull those emotions up, and I would let them go. Tears, crying. You know what? I went to the gym a lot, actually, too, and I lost a ton of weight because the adrenaline, the sweat, the cardio just helped me to feel better. Exercise does a number on you. I'm telling you, if you're feeling sad, exercise is the best thing. It really raises your vibrations, and you just feel a whole lot better. So I did exercise a lot too. And so I grieved it, felt it, go through it, go exercise. And then the second part was to accept his choice. I accepted his choice. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing that I could change the choice. There is no turning back and going back into time to make different decisions. So accept where you are, where he is, and move forward. In fact, like I said, I honor his courage in taking the step to essentially rip our worlds apart. And it is what it is. You never know what's waiting on the other side. And I've been through a lot these past 18 months in terms of getting over the divorce and in dating and this dating thing is so crazy. Being single again at this age is so crazy. And it is what it is, but just know that what's waiting on the other side of grief and acceptance is a different you. You will be so much stronger and in such a great mind space when you let go of what could have been and live right here in the moment, right here and right now. And I want to say, you know, my ex's decision to leave and his choice to move towards his most authentic person actually inspired me to be my most authentic, which had me making all these changes that I spoke about in my last video about switching jobs and just changing the direction of my life and living my most authentic, the thing that I want to do, all the things that I want to do and be. I am moving toward that. I am being her, the her that I've always wanted to be, that I've dreamt of being. So What's waiting for you on the other side of grief and acceptance is a better you. So do what you have to do. Don't take too long. Don't spend years of your life being bitter. That's for sure. And I knew I would not be a bitter person. I knew it would not take me long to bounce back. I bounced back out after my first marriage and divorce, and I knew how quickly I could get through it. Does it change my views on love? Absolutely not. Hashtag I still believe in love. I really do. And I don't know why my both marriages didn't work. They just didn't. Doesn't mean I'm a failure or I don't have value. And it does mess with me sometimes that, two guys didn't want me because they both left in similar fashion. Just one day said, we're done. And so that often, messes with my, am I as good a woman as I think I am? But I get through it, and I've lived through it, and I accept their decision to leave, and I accept who I am. And I still value who I am, even if they don't, even if they didn't, even if they chose to throw me out with yesterday's trash. I still see my value. Anyway, follow me at neenalove.com. You can also follow me on Instagram. Let me know what you think in the comments. You can, comment. You can comment on my blog. You can comment on my Facebook page, on Instagram, or on my YouTube page. Comment. I want to see. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're going through. And you can reach me at neenalove.com or on any of the other social platforms at neenalove. All right. See you next week, folks. Hope you have a good week.